Welcome back to the routing series part 6. I'm Niels from 𝗣𝗢𝗜 course, and I would like to talk about aux routing in that part. So in the good old analog days when you're mixed on a console, you probably have something like 8 aux tracks that you can use for the effect processing, and maybe you have something like 4 stereo effects or 3 stereo effects and 2 mono effects that you can use, that you run out over a patch bay or something like that and bring that back on your console. So this would mean in that example here, we have here a smaller session. Here are some drum tracks that are routed to a drum group, and we have here 2 bass guitar tracks and some guitar tracks, and all of them are routed to the single subgroup, and the subgroup goes to the Pro Tools 2-track. And if we were on an analog mixing console, I would say I have these aux tracks and send the effects to them, and all of them are routed to the 2-track as well. But we are now, thankfully, in better days where I have not the limitation. So I use for every subgroup their own effect aux tracks. And I already prepared something like that. So here are 3 aux tracks that I use for the effects on the drums. This is a drum room, drum plate, and a gate delay. For the bass guitar, I have also a bass room. And on the guitar side here, we have guitar delay 1, guitar delay 2, so option for 2 different delays, a room effect and a reverb effect. And typically I have some presets, some plugins already there. For this example, it doesn't matter. We can put in some, like a reverb, here room, and here we use a plate or whatever. So now we have to give them some inputs, and I have already created my FX aux channels, and I have here a drum room and drum plate and gate reverb or gate delay. For the bass guitar, I have a bare room, and on them here are the delay buses, also room, and the verb. So now you can give all the tracks their own bus to the effects. And I like to use the aux tracks. Let's say we use on the whole drum set. On the whole drum set, we want some room effect, and use the room. I make that a bit better to watch. We bring in here the fader. So in this setting, all aux tracks that goes to the drum room are post fader, and that means, let me give you a signal. You won't hear anything, so I can show you that. Let's focus on the overheads. If we pull up the fader, you can see that we get the signal on the drum room track. If I mute that, we lost the signal because it is now post fader. If we click here on the pre-fader icon in Pro Tools, we will have the signal that goes into the channel, and that is now pre-fader. So it doesn't matter what I do here, it always get the signal from there. If I do again post-fader, then it is all related to what's going on from the fader, and here we can set the amount of what's going out from here. Yeah, so you can use the same effect on many channels. You don't have to use a room plug-in in the insert channel. You can use these guys for all of these tracks. give an example. You can use here on the second one, we use the drum plate, and I make that also bigger, and now we can feed to that channel too. And you have still the independence for the amount. And Pro Tools, you can set that the pan should follow what the main pan is doing. And let me bring this up so you can watch this. It is a bit great, so I can't do anything here. It follows the thing, but I can deactivate the setting for each individual track, so I can use that if I need to, if I want to. That doesn't follow anymore the main pan. But I like this setting as the starting point, because when I do some panning on the drums, I want to have like the tom. If I want to have the tom on the left side, I also want it in the room on the left side. So that are the routing for the aux track pre and post, and the pan following. So you don't have to use effects on the insert itself, you can use them on an aux track. One another thing is important, that you should check that the aux tracks are solo safe, because if they don't solo safe and you want to listen to the snare track and want to hear with the sound of the effect, you won't hear that, because this also reacts with the solo function. So if you let me play here, you see we don't we get the signal because the channel is open through solo safe, but we don't get that through. We need to have that also solo safe. So all the aux tracks where the effect sits on should be solo safe. I hope that makes it a bit clear about the routing for the aux tracks. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, and I hope I see you also in the next and last part of the routing series. Thank you. Bye bye.